So right now I'm going to focus on the last two regions that we did not get to work on our drawings for, and you're going to be reading some information this week, and you'll be flipping up your flip book and filling out those important points that you learned about the Central Valley region, and flipping up your flip book and making bulleted points about all the important things you learned about the desert region. So for this one, all I did is I made a line in the middle of my paper, and then I made some grids. So I'm thinking for this piece, you are going to do this. You can do this for your art this week. This could be your art project as well as your history. So we can combine two different things in one. Then, because we know that part of the way to water our crops is they use those water systems and those rivers in the Central Valley. So I'm going to put a little river here. And this helps irrigate our crops. Then I just made some little hills and mountains here. And then I added a little sun, like a sunset or sunrise. So add the little sun. And then I added a little plane here. And we'll call this a crop duster. And he is spraying all of our agriculture and all our plants and vegetables with pesticides so they don't get ruined by insects. And so here is some things. So that's what mine looks like. And then my son drew one because he's so helpful for me, and that's what his looks like. So pretty similar, my Central Valley and his Central Valley. It's a little bit different, and yours is going to look a little bit different also. So for your directed drawing for your desert region, so we did do one like this. So we made the mountains a little more flat, kind of like something called mesas. We added some desert amphibians here. So you'll want to add that to yours. The type of animal and insects that would live in the desert region. So maybe you might want to add your own and not do the one that we did. We added some cacti, as you can see, and some brush. And it looks like my son also added some insects that you would find in the desert region. So that's kind of what our desert region, part of our flip book, looks like. And then for my desert region, mine looked a little bit different than his. I made my gecko look a little bit bigger than his. Like he's huge on this page. A lot different than his. So again, yours is going to look a lot different than mine, or it could look similar to mine. I just made mine really huge on this page. And again, I had some cacti, because you'll find some cactus in the desert region. I include a little snake here because we know that snakes are nocturnal. They come out and hunt at night. They do live in the desert. And then I added some mesas also. Some of those flat mountaintops in my picture. So I'm going to stop right there. Again, I'll compare my desert region picture to my son's desert region picture. So we have a lot of the similarities in ours, but they also look really different. So again, yours is going to look similar, is going to look different. In fact, you might even want to go ahead and research it and write your bulleted points first, and then come back and add whatever animals and plants you feel live in it and draw your own picture. So it's up to you of how you want yours to look. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back to the coastal region and mountain regions because some kids for some reason were absent, or maybe you missed it or you left class. So if you weren't here, I'm going to go ahead and go back to those two flaps. And if you already drew those two flaps, then you don't need to watch the next part of the video. Thanks. So this is part 2. Some of you guys missed the day that we drew the picture for the coastal region. So for the coastal region, we did draw a little lighthouse here. So on your paper, you're going to want to go ahead and draw a lighthouse. And you're going to want to do all yours in pencil. The only reason why I'm using marker right now is so you can see it at home on your screen. Other than that, you're going to want to use pencil. So you can tell that I use pencil first. And if we were in class, I'd be using pencil, but because we're just distance learning, I'm using a marker. So here's like a little cliff in our coastal region. Sometimes you see those cute palm trees that are planted here. So we have a palm tree here. Of course, we know that we're by the water. So here's some little fake waves. Here's a boat. Of course, your boat, you have a lot more time. You can make your waves and your boat a lot more extravagant. Maybe a sailboat, maybe a yacht, maybe a little fishing boat, anything that you'd like. And then I put some more waves here. So of course I'm going to go over this with crayon, marker, something, so you can see the colors I'd really like to use. But for now, I'm just using that black marker. There's my sun. You can make your sun however you want it to look. Added some seagulls up top. And added a cloud, only because sometimes San Diego, we still have our cloudy days. So that's what my coastal region picture looked like. And if you look at my picture and my son's picture, again, pretty similar. You see a few differences here and there. His sun looks different than my son. His palm tree looks a little bit different than mine. I don't think I finished outlining his for him. So some similarities and some differences, but kind of the same. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to that mountain region, which is the second one. And so, here's my bird, my bald eagle. I'm trying to see where I started here, yeah. So try to do like layers of mountains. And then some mountain tops. And so there's my mountain region. Really simple. And then again, if you want to look, my son had more detail in his mountain region. So you see his bird there. His bird's a lot tinier than my bird. And then you see like he added some trees. He added his mountains real low, added some mountains up here. So his mountains look a lot different than my mountains. But again, your mountain picture is probably going to look different than mine and my son's, and that's okay. So hopefully have fun drawing, and can't wait to see your pictures. Once you're done drawing everything, make sure you color it, and that will be part of your art project this week.